Here's West, and that's in.
West, she got up, swings down the line, higher. Utah squad, swing away, cross body.
Hey Utah fans, it's Ashley West. We are back with another episode of The Serve. Today we are joined by Leah Wilton-LaBoy. Leah, go ahead and tell the Utah fans about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Leah Wilton-LaBoy. I'm a junior transfer setter from Northern California. This is my third and final school, which I'm so excited for. I am a strategic communications major here, and I'm just so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. With all the schools that you've been at, tell us a little bit about the transfer experience for you personally.
So I started my first 2 years at Utah State, so I'm very familiar with Utah. We did really well my first 2 seasons, made a tournament run. I loved my time there. But looking at it halfway through my career, I thought I could, achieve the goals that I really wanted to achieve elsewhere. So I hopped in the transfer portal after that fall and ended up at the University of Oklahoma. So I got to be part of their first inaugural season in the SEC, which was sick. Loved my time there, but once again, I just felt like it wasn't the right fit for me, and especially being so far away from home that I didn't really realize how much of a toll that had on me until it happened. So I hopped back into the portal after that fall, and what was funny is the U reached out to me both times I was in the portal, so I was like, okay, this is kind of serendipitous. I was really looking forward to coming on my visit here and talking to the coaches. The coaching staff obviously knew me beforehand, when we play you guys in preseason and stuff at Utah State. So I just wanted to be a part of a coaching staff that knew me and what I could do, and just be a part of a team that would make my last year memorable. And I didn't realize how much I missed Utah until I left. So I'm so glad to be back. And the portal itself was honestly not as scary as I thought it would be. When I thought about it, I thought I would get in and I would be able to see everyone in the portal.
Yeah.
You don't know you're in the portal until you start getting emails.
Right.
That's it. The first round was definitely more overwhelming than the second. But after it was just the recruiting process all over again. Right. So I felt like I was back in high school and I was back to being a little freshman in college. But I'm just really grateful for how everything panned out to be. I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that I ended up here.
For sure. When you came on your visit to the U, what were a couple things that stood out where you were okay, I can see myself having my senior season here, I want to come back to Utah? What really stood out about your visit?
Probably just interacting with the coaches was huge. Just getting to know them on a more personal level, because obviously I knew you guys in passing when we play each other, but nothing super personal. And also I came when you guys were all in finals or home for break. So it was I was bummed I couldn't really connect with most of the team, but just walking around facilities and being back in Utah too, it was so pretty. I missed the mountains. Oklahoma's really flat. So it was nice to just be back in such a beautiful place. And they took me to a Love Salt Lake game, their first exhibition match. Being able to see the opportunity there and just the connections that the U has with Love and just all the resources that you guys have here, that was the cherry on top for me.
Speaking about connections, we know that you come from a volleyball family.
Yes.
Tell us about just the whole spider web of your family connected to volleyball. I feel you have so many different funnels to everybody, so just let them know.
The volleyball world is so small, and I think my family is living proof of that. So my grandfather is a collegiate coach. He's coached on both sides, men's and women's, for almost 50 years at this point. He's technically retired now, but he's been volunteering at so many different programs since he's retired. Fun fact, he was my volunteer assistant coach at Utah State. That was one of the bigger reasons why I wanted to go there in the first place, was because I knew I would get coached well there, not even just with Rob, but my grandpa's been my coach since I was 8. I started playing volleyball when I was 8, and every single year for the summer, I'd go wherever him and my grandma lived and trained at almost every gym in Utah, because they've lived in Utah for a good, I want to say 10 years now. So my grandpa coached at the University of Hawaii for almost 20 years. He's a national champion there on the men's side. My aunt and uncle were both All-Americans at the University of Hawaii both outsides. My other uncle actually played at BYU, and my mom actually played a year of college ball at Utah State. So there's a lot of like funny coincidences with that. But volleyball is just like runs in my blood. We know everyone in some capacity. Like it's the funniest thing. Like my grandpa coached with Will's dad, and like I've always known Will like through like our family, so that was another connection that like comforted me. Somehow I know someone from some family member, and like this is my blood and this is like everything that my family has built, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of that. We have 15 grandkids on my mom's side, and only 2 of us play college ball, which is so funny to me. But other than me, my cousin Keonithim, he plays at BYU right now, so we both ended up transferring to Utah schools like at the same time. So it's been fun to like have him just like an hour away.
Yeah. With volleyball being so apparent in your life and growing up, did you ever experience of maybe like uncertainty of like, ooh, should I play volleyball? Like, was it overwhelming, or were you always just like, this is me, this is my jam?
I actually have a funny story about that. I used to play soccer. Like I was pretty good at soccer like growing up, and that was the first sport that I ever played competitively. And around like when I was 8, my mom was like, let's sign you up for a clinic. And I was like, I don't want to sign up for a clinic. I'm good at soccer. I like soccer. And she was like, no, but I think you should play volleyball. Like obviously like we're a volleyball family, and she was just trying. I always like to say she like gently nudged me into volleyball, but she made me go to the clinic. I cried the whole drive there. Like I did not want to go, and it was mostly just because I didn't have any friends, so I didn't want to go. Right. But I ended up doing the clinic, loving it, making friends, and then like from that point on, it was like volleyball all the way. I stopped playing soccer, and I started like competitive club when I was 8. So that's like my like ongoing joke with my mom is like, oh, you forced me into this sport, but obviously like it panned out in the end.
Oh, I love it. So enough about volleyball. Tell me a little about your family. It seems like you have a good connection with your mom, your little brothers. Like, give us the rundown.
So there's 5 people in my family. My mom, my dad, and my 2 little brothers. Their names are Riker and Ronan. They're 9 and 11. So I've always been big sister and like part-time mom as well. Yeah. And I think being an older sibling is something that I cherish so much, because I think it's really shaped me in like who I am as a person and who I am as like an athlete too. And I love them to death. They are crazy. Like my mom like calls me every other week. She's like, you're not gonna believe what they did this week. And it's like my favorite call. But yeah, it's just the 5 of us. They're all back in California right now, traveling all over. They play soccer and flag football, and the older one plays tackle football as well. So that's been a little nerve-wracking as well. But sure. They're doing great. They're like, my family's just a family of athletes. Like it's just like what we all know. Like my dad played football in college as well. So like having that foundation of football and volleyball, it's just how we all are as like, like people and athletes is like, what my parents have like, built for us.
With moving around so much, have you found what you like to do outside of volleyball? Like what's your, I need just something to do away from volleyball go-to?
Yeah, I think finding hobbies, I feel like for athletes is so hard sometimes, just with like the time constraint and like figuring out like what you like. I'm pretty artsy. I like to do like things that, like encourage my like artistic creativity. I always love to doodle, paint, draw. I've recently taken up junk journaling. It's basically when you like keep like pieces of trash from places you go to and like scrapbook and like make little like pages out of it. So I just went to Italy for spring break, and so the whole time I felt like a raccoon. I was like keeping pieces of trash in my bag throughout our whole trip, and I had like my friends like got into it too. Like they would grab me things or like keep things for me, and I like the day after I got back from break, I had already finished every single page of like the junk journal like for my Italy trip. So that's been a really fun like outlet just for me to like not think, not look at my phone, not think about volleyball, and just go to town with all these random pieces of trash.
All right, Utah fans, that concludes this episode. Leah, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, go Utes!